The squad are just going through their final preparations ahead of flying to Germany in just a couple of hours' time for what will be Oliver Glasner's final game in charge of Crystal Palace. And it's been such a successful time for him here at Crystal Palace, just over a year ago, winning the FA Cup and then going on to win the Community Shield. And of course now a chance to win a trophy in Europe, which if successful would be the first time ever that Crystal Palace have won a European trophy. Glasner himself has tasted European victory before, having won the Europa League in 2022 with Eintracht Frankfurt beating Rangers. He's taken charge of his final home match of Crystal Palace, and later this afternoon we'll hear from him once he's arrived in Germany. Now, the big injury news that Crystal Palace fans were waiting on: is Adam Wharton available? And he is. He's out there training with his teammates. We knew that he had an ankle injury, not called up for the England squad, but still playing for Palace. Now, he played 17 minutes in the defeat to Arsenal after coming on at half-time at the weekend. He went down after a challenge from Miles Lewis-Skelly, clutching his right ankle. But he is out there, and that will delight the Crystal Palace fans. And, of course, Oliver Glasner. He's been Crystal Palace's top assist provider in all competitions this season. Him being available is a massive, massive boost for Crystal Palace. Of course, he got his first goal for the club against Brentford recently, and when he went down, there was a lot of nervous people against Arsenal, but he was in that end of the match walk around the pitch. He was there, he's out there, and he's training, and he's looking good. And also, you'll be able to see Chris Richards. He was another injury doubt, also with an ankle issue. Now, he missed out on the 2022 World Cup. There were a few questions as to whether he'd be unlucky again and miss out on this one. Well, he's out there now. He's training with his teammates. He didn't feature against Arsenal. Oliver Glasner was desperate to have him back for tomorrow evening's final. And by the looks of it, he's got the two injury doubts back for him, training and available. If we take a look around and find Ismaila Sarr. Now, he scored twice across the two legs in the semi-final. He's out there as well. He was one of the players substituted off at half-time against Arsenal. Well, that was always planned for Oliver Glasner. He wanted to rest players but also keep them match fit. He's out there with his teammate Jean-Philippe Mateta. They'll actually go up against each other in the opening game of the World Cup when France play Senegal. Sarr has 9 goals in the competition this season and is also the leading goal scorer, and I don't think at this rate he's going to be caught. He's leading by some way. Brennan Johnson is also out there training in this heat. Now, he knows what it takes to win a European trophy on the big stage, the European stage, winning the Europa League with Tottenham just over a year ago. He scored the winner in that game. We heard from him a few days ago. He's feeling confident ahead of this one. Yet to score for Crystal Palace, though. Is he saving it for tomorrow's final? Jørgen Strand Larsen is also out there training. I think they've got full availability for this final tomorrow evening. He's also going to face his Crystal Palace teammates, Ismaila Sarr and Jean-Philippe Mateta, in that Group I at the World Cup. Lots of World Cup involvement for Crystal Palace this time around. And now training over towards the back is Daniel Munoz. He and Jefferson Lerma were called up to Colombia's World Cup squad yesterday. He usually starts for Palace but had to wait until half-time to come on against Arsenal. That was always the plan once again for Oliver Glasner. He also celebrates his 30th birthday today, so it could be a great few days for him. Just a few days ago, this group of players had to watch Arsenal celebrate on the pitch with the Premier League trophy. Maybe that's given them even more motivation to go and achieve their own success tomorrow in Germany. Once Crystal Palace have finished up here, they'll be making a quick journey to a local airport where they'll be flying to Germany, around an hour-and-a-half flight before they land there. Then they'll conduct their pre-match media duties. We'll also hear from Oliver Glasner ahead of Palace's 60th match of the season, and a player live on Sky Sports News later today ahead of that final against Rayo Vallecano. If they win in Germany, it will be their first ever European trophy.